In this video, I'm going to tell you how I created a brokerage account and went from $0 on it all the way to $250,000 in the span of 2 years. If that sounds like fun, stay tuned. Hello? Is anyone here? Where are my subscribers? Subscribe. I'm sorry if I just stared into your soul. So you may be wondering, what's with all the animatronics, aerodynamics? What's with all the echoing? The apartment is a little empty. This echo, it's really getting to me.
Many months later.
Oh, welcome to my new apartment. Hi, I'm Dennis. My friends call me the financial doctor, and I thought I'd put that to the test. 2 years ago, I signed a contract with a small hospital in a small town, and I wanted to reflect on the last 2 years now that I've moved to the big city. In these last 2 years, using only my hospital salary, ignoring my previous net worth, I was able to go from $0 to $250,000 in a fresh new broker account. And that's what we're going to talk about right now. You're a normal person.
やった。鬼ってそこ。かかれ。いや、防弾ガラスが、防弾がすごい。息が。大丈夫か。一回引いた。しゃがめばいいよ。
So, because you're a normal person, I'm not gonna bullshit you. I'm not gonna teach you how to make $1 million a year. Let's talk practical advice for the average normal person. Tip number 1, deferred gratification. So I mentioned that my friends call me the financial doctor. Well, there's a reason why. Whenever they would book a session with me, I would always Gordon Ramsay their finances. I would roast them to a crisp for all the dumb things that they would do.
How much for a bag of ice?
Each one of our classic pouches retails for $24.99. $325 gets 10 classic pouches. If you're a fella who likes to experience continuous excellence, for $1,000 you can join our luxury ice club.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
One of the worst ways that I've seen young professionals and many others mess up their finances is by jumping into a brand new car unnecessarily, or always trading in your car. Remember this, the eighth wonder of the world is compound interest. The dollars that you see the most amount of benefit with compound interest are going to be the dollars that you first invest. In other words, the dollars that you invest when you're a teenager or when you're in your early 20s. And if you burn those dollars randomly, you won't be able to enjoy the real true power of compound interest. Now back to the topic about cars. I'm still in my 2008 Lexus with 130,000 miles, and I plan to use that car as long as possible. You're gonna hate me for this one. Tip number 2, stop looking at side hustles. I'm gonna repeat that. If you want to build wealth, stop focusing on side hustles. Let me explain. If you spend any amount of time online looking for any sort of tips about side hustles, you'll know that most of them are either bullshit, maybe you have to get really lucky, or you have to be really good at what you do. But that doesn't stop YouTubers. YouTubers want to sell you on a dream so that you can buy their course and you can benefit them. The better way for the general average person to increase their net worth is to focus on their main hustle, their main job. Climb your profession's ladder, or focus on your main job so you can ace your performance evaluations and get higher salary raises. I can already hear the comments right now. Dennis just wants me to be a good employee and a wage slave for the rest of my life. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I promise you I'm not some delusional boomer who's trying to tell you to stay in the same job for 20 years. I know that inflation sucks. I know that the job market is brutal right now, and I know that some companies aren't even giving raises. Trust me, I just got a new job. But if you're watching this video, clearly you're looking for more. If your current job sucks, or refuses to pay you for what you're worth. I have a hack for fixing that too. If you want me to talk strategy about climbing the corporate ladder, regardless of what career or field you're in, or just strategies for acing your performance evaluations so you get higher salary raises, or even selling yourself in job interviews, go ahead and comment down below, and if there's enough interest, I'll go ahead and make a video about that. Now, my hack for jump-starting your career, I'm gonna tell it to you in a story first, my story, and then I'm gonna explain how it applies to you. I'm from the big city, and as you can tell, I'm fairly young. So I have limited job experience compared to people who have 20 plus years of experience. So in the big city, when I'm applying for competitive jobs, I pretty much get stomped. I sent over 200 job applications, no job offers. So this is my strategy. I started looking for small towns. And specifically what I did is I found a job in a small town that was a higher ranking position than what I was qualified for. To be honest with you, I was only about half qualified for the job that I applied for. So for the first 6 months after I got that job, it was pure torture. I had a lot to learn. But that's the magic of a small town. In a small town, they're less picky. So even though I was not even fully qualified for that job, I got to step one step higher in terms of my ranking. And that came, of course, with the salary increase. And of course, that also came with higher credentials. I worked my ass off. By the end of the 2 years, I was acing my performance evaluations, and they were pretty sad once I actually said that I was leaving. This job that I took allowed me to do things that I never would have done in a big city. In a big city, they're gonna put me into a position and I kind of just stay there for a while. And to compete to climb up is extremely difficult. In this small town, I was able to do everything. I learned how to manage a skilled nursing facility. I was able to go from med-surg all the way deep into the ICU, and I began specializing in infectious diseases. It's stuff that I never would have been able to do. So essentially, this allowed me to skip years into my career. But that's not the end of the story, okay? After this 2-year contract ended, what I did is I leveraged my position and all the opportunities that I was allowed in this small town, and I shot even higher. I went back to the big town that they rejected me from all the jobs. I went back there and I shot for even higher position. I'm in one of the nation's best hospitals now. I work from 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. I have incredible benefits which include free prescription drugs. Literally anything that I have prescription, $0. I got another salary boost, another rank boost as well. And I work 40 hours and I'm free to work more hours if I choose to. So essentially the hack that I'm talking about here is if you really want to rank up your position and you want to do it as fast as possible, one of the best ways to do it is to go to a small town and start shooting for higher ranking positions. Over there, they usually have less people in your workplace, so that allows you to have more opportunities to do more. And after you're done with that, come back to the big city and leverage everything that you've done and go for a higher position. So as you can tell from my story, I fully support job hopping. And the secret sauce to all this and how I was able to build $250,000 is to work overtime. And that comes all the way back full circle to the title of this tip. Stop looking for side hustles. One side note is if you're switching jobs, you may be able to do a PRN position and one job and full-time in another, which is not overtime, but you're still working more hours. Tip number 3, invest. I'm gonna dog on the YouTube community again because there's too many courses that I've seen. All the day trading courses, all the investing courses, psychology of money courses, it's all bullshit, okay? Your finances do not have to be that complicated. You don't have to buy an individual stock and then find this bond that you have to buy. You have to look at the interest rates, listen to the FOMC, you have to do this, you have to do that. Oh no, inflation is gonna be here to stay. Interest rates higher, oh the bank is gonna collapse. It does not have to be that complicated, okay? And I mean that. I buy individual stocks personally, and I'm macro agnostic. I don't care what happens, okay? I don't even keep track of it. It doesn't matter. So if you're here to buy ETFs, we keep it as simple as possible. It doesn't matter if you think World War III is about to happen. It doesn't matter if aliens are coming to invade Earth. None of that matters. Stick to your plan, invest, and be calm. But for those of you that want more practical tips, let's talk about it, okay? So, after you get paid, each paycheck, allocate a certain percentage of your paycheck, and you're gonna need some discipline to do this. Take some percentage of your paycheck and invest it. Remember what we talked about? Deferred gratification. That was tip number 1, right? This is where deferred gratification comes in. You take a portion of your paycheck and you allocate that to either paying off your debt if you have high interest debt, or you allocate that into your stock accounts so that you can buy stocks. Next, individual stocks are risky. You do not need to buy individual stocks. You do not need to listen to earnings calls every single time and do all this research. You can invest in broadly diversified ETFs and you'll do well. Probably better than 95% of people in general, even financial professionals. You'll do better than 95% of them. Again, I know this is not sexy advice, but you will become a millionaire with this. And a millionaire status is good enough. Next, take advantage of your employer's retirement accounts. Whether it's a 401k, a 403b, a 457b, if there's an employer match in there, make sure to get that match. If you qualify for an HSA account, you can invest with the HSA account. It's triple tax advantage, so make sure to take advantage of that. You have to have a high deductible health plan. And finally, most people probably should max out their IRA accounts. I personally like to use a Roth IRA, and that's it. If you want more general tips about this, go ahead and leave it in the comments below and I can make more dedicated videos to that. By following these tips, the average person can maximize return and eventually achieve financial freedom with me, Dennis. And of course, do so without taking undue amounts of risk. If you like this content, go ahead and support me by clicking a like. And if you want to watch my latest video where I discuss a stock that's gone up quite a bit, it's an unconventional stock pick in my opinion, go ahead and click right over here. Come on, just click over here. Yeah, I know you want to. Right over here.